Happy Tuesday, and welcome back to the Basics of Jazz Drum Set for Music Educators. Today, we're going to start talking about the concept of comping and how you get a student from I can play the basic groove to I can comp and musically and creatively interact with my other bandmates. Now, this is not a one video topic. This is something we're going to address over the course of several videos. Today, this is for your student who can play their swing beat comfortably with two limbs. I'm talking this. 1, 2, 3, 4. If your kid can play this at a variety of tempos, at a variety of dynamics, and they're starting to get bored, this is when you start to introduce to them some independence exercises that will help them to become even more comfortable with that and allow them to put this mentally on the back burner so that they can begin to learn how to comp. We want to take this step by step, and I know that's going to be hard, especially for a lot of our students who are young and hungry, frankly. They're really eager to do a lot of stuff that's really difficult, even if they don't have the chops yet. So these are some great tools, something that you as the band director can even learn to play a little bit. And you can show these to the kid and say, okay, do this and come back and tell me when you can do this and I'll give you more. So today we're going to start off there. All right, so what is comping? We should all, as educators, have at least some kind of answer for that. But the way I would define comping is we are either accompanying or composing extra musical notes that help the music in some way, whether that is kind of talking back and forth with a soloist or just adding a little bit more rhythmic flavor to a beat behind the rest of the band, or in some cases even kind of playing the hits where, maybe the trumpet section has a rhythm and the drummer is going to accentuate that. Comping is something that all rhythm section instruments do, but we hear about this being talked about a lot more with like piano and guitar and chords. Now, as a drummer, we don't have chords, but we have the rhythms just the same. So what we're going to do today is start off with some very basic comping rhythms and comping patterns. Our end goal, of course, is to get to a point as a drummer where we can fluently communicate by keeping our ride cymbal beat really steady and just playing a bunch of extra stuff, responding musically to an idea without having to think too hard and without having to feel like a child that's learning to ride a bicycle for the very first time. That is a years-long process. The easiest way to start out is to take bite-sized pieces and repeat them over and over again as though you're learning a variation on the original groove until you can do, say 5 different versions of the swing beat comfortably, then starting to mix those up in 1 to 2 bar increments. Here are what I would say are the first 4 1-bar patterns your drummer should learn. And with all of these patterns, we're going to play them either with the snare drum or with the bass drum. We are using our ride cymbal and hi-hat as constants. If you cannot play the rhythm while remaining unchanged on the ride cymbal and the hi-hat, you're not done learning it yet. So, things to keep in mind. Now, when we think about rhythms that we can play in the jazz style, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of possibilities, and there's a lot of syncopation and different things. We want to start as simple as possible. So we're going to start with, can we play on the beat 1? Can we play beat 2? Can we play beat 3? And can we play beat 4? Each of those by themselves with either the snare drum or the bass drum and our ride cymbal and hi-hat backing us up. So what I'm going to do now that I've explained all that is I am going to count you down and I'm going to play 4 bars of each of those comping patterns and then stop and count off the next one. This serves 2 purposes. One, for you, the band director, you can see this and see what to ask your student to do, and you can even show this to them and say, look, that's what you do. For your students, if you send them this video, that serves as a really small mini practice track. In an ideal world, you'd be able to play that more than 4 times in a row, but it's a great start to even just have that video of someone doing it 4 times. So watch, understand, and try yourself. Even if you play the flute or the violin, you can't go wrong sitting in your office going, Because if you can do it, it'll give you the confidence you need to assert to your student, this is not that bad, you can do it. So here we go. I'm going to start with beat 1, then I'll go beat 1, 2, 3, 4 on the snare drum, then I'll start again with beat 1, 2, 3, 4 on the bass drum. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. That's all the snare drums. Now let's try those same permutations with the bass drum. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. There you go. That is every possible permutation of an on-the-beat quarter note as a comping rhythm. Now, that's only 8 things. That might take some students a month, and other students 3 days. It's going to depend a lot on their innate levels of coordination and how much work they're willing and able to put into it. Once your kid can get there, I raise the challenge to them and to you. We're going to do quarter notes again, but this time we're going to do all the off-the-beat quarter notes, or you can think of them as eighth notes if that's easier. That's how I'll write them down here because that looks better. So now, instead of doing 1, we're going to do the end of 1. Instead of doing 2, we're going to do the end of 2. So I'll go ahead and play through those as well. Same way I did, we'll go snare drum all the way down, and then bass drum all the way down. Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. Now onto the bass drum. 1, 2, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, 1, 2, ready, go. One, two, A 1, 2, ready, go. All right, there you go. So that is 8 separate patterns. Double it to 16 if you consider that working them up on the snare drum and bass drum are going to feel like 2 different patterns. And that represents every possible single 8th note permutation of a 1-measure comping pattern. That's a lot of words, but that is an achievable amount of stuff for a beginner to intermediate drummer who has some time and some drive to work on comping. You know, once they can do those, they can start to piece them together. 1 bar of one, 1 bar of the next, 1 bar of one, 1 bar of the next, and even throwing in a bar where there's no comping pattern. In this way, they'll start to become A, really comfortable with the patterns themselves, and B, really comfortable with the concept of improvisation. They are making up on the spot which one they're going to play next. We will talk about that in a future video, and so that's where I'm going to end things today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and as always, if this was helpful, you can like, subscribe, and share this video with another band director friend. Let's spread the love and make an army of band directors who are drum set educated. Have a great day, and I will see you next week.